Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and I'm an elementary music teacher, and on this channel we talk about all things music ed, especially ways to make your music classroom more meaningful and joyful for you and your students. This video is a little behind the scenes of how I make my secret rhythm activities, which are available in my TPT store. My students are big fans of these activities because they get to use popsicle sticks. And the popsicle sticks are an optional element to this activity. You don't have to have them for students to participate. They can use a whiteboard and markers, they can use pencil and paper, but the popsicle sticks do make it more fun and more hands-on, in my opinion. So what are our secret rhythms? Secret rhythms are engaging, hands-on rhythm decoding activities for students in grades K through 2. The best time to use these is when students are learning and practicing music notation for quarter and eighth notes. For me, that's first grade. In this activity, students will decode graphics into quarter and eighth notes using a strategy like counting syllables. For example, pie, turkey, pie, pie would be ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, or whichever rhythm syllables you use. Each of my secret rhythm activities has 17 different examples with 6 different graphics, and so far I have 12 different themes, but that may be different depending on when you're watching this video. I have all kinds of seasonal themes like fall, winter, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Earth Day, Easter, tons of themes, and I'll have them listed in just a few moments. For the activity, students will use either popsicle sticks to build the rhythms or a way to write the rhythms down like pencil and paper or a whiteboard and marker. Using popsicle sticks requires a bit of prep, but it's really fun for the kids. Having that constructive element reinforces all the skills you're practicing, like 1 versus 2 sounds and what notation looks like. Secret rhythms are a huge hit with my students, mainly my first graders, but I have done them in second grade before as review. They're also wonderful formative assessments because as I'm running the activity, I do have time to circulate and check for understanding. For more information on using secret rhythms, because this video is mostly a behind the scenes of how I make them, you can check out my blog post that I'll have linked below. It's also got a bunch of great tips for how you teach rhythm in kindergarten and first grade. For now, let's start the tour. How I make my secret rhythm activities. The main tool that I use to make secret rhythms is Canva Pro, which I do purchase every year. I think it's more than worth the price. I use it to make resources for my classroom, to make YouTube video play-alongs, to make my TPT products. I think it's absolutely worth it. I also use Google Slides, which is the teacher component of secret rhythms. Students do not need computers. They don't need internet, but the teacher does need a way to project the presentation for students to see and participate in. So basically what I'm doing is creating a presentation where I make the slides in Canva Pro, and then I use Google Slides to actually format and put all the slides together. The first thing I do is decide on a theme. These are the themes I currently have in my TPT store, though there may be more depending on when you're watching this video. Once I have a theme, I decide on 6 related words, 3 one-syllable words and 3 two-syllable words. These are going to be my 6 graphics I build rhythms from. Designing the slides is fun, but of course I want to create as little work as possible for myself. Since I've made so many, I have a template where I can easily change the colors and graphics to match whatever theme I'm working on. Now I have to arrange my graphics into patterns of 4 with the answers written underneath them in both stick notation and regular notation with no heads. I like having these 2 versions for teachers to choose between. I have already gone ahead and created popsicle stick notation graphics from a popsicle stick picture, so it's just a matter of copying and pasting. The music notation graphics are from Midnight Music, which I will link below. This part can be tedious because it does require some resizing, tidying, arranging, but at this point I've gotten the hang of it. The most important thing I can do to make this part easier is label each slide very clearly with what rhythm it is and which other slides it goes with. That way, when I go to import them into Google Slides, I don't get confused with what order things go in. Once I've designed my slides and exported them as PNGs, I can start preparing my presentation in Google Slides. Since I have over 70 PNGs, this part takes the longest. I manually import each PNG file as a background into each slide. This is important. You can't just drag the PNG in since that will not affix it to the slide. I don't want the teacher able to move the PNG, so it has to be imported as a background. There is an extension that lets you upload multiple PNGs at once into backgrounds, but I have found that to be slow and glitchy. It's more reassuring for me just to go one by one. And because I've labeled the PNGs so well, there's no question about which ones I've done or not done. Eventually, I end up with 2 presentations, one with popsicle stick notation and one with regular music notation. I check them carefully to make sure everything matches up, and then I'm good to go. I love making my own resources for my students because I know them, I know what they need, and making specific resources for them is helpful for their learning, but also fun for me. If you're like me in that regard, you can try making your own secret rhythms or have your students try to make their own. And if you like the idea of secret rhythms, but you do not want to sit behind a computer screen for hours, head to the description box below to learn more about the ones I have listed in my TPT store. The work is done for you already. Plus, I have all the printables you need to do the activity in your class, including a student writing template, a teacher guide, and a teacher tip page for running the activity smoothly. If what you learned today resonated with you, then I invite you to connect with me on Instagram at A Different Musician. You can also like this video and subscribe to my channel. That helps other educators like you find and learn from my content. I also have an email list that you can subscribe to. I send 1, sometimes 2 emails a week talking about music teacher toolbox tips, tricks, advice, things like that. All kinds of ways to make your elementary music classroom more meaningful and joyful. I will leave any links that I mentioned below, including links to my blog, my socials, and my TPT store. Feel free to reach out to me with any comments or questions, and in the meantime, happy music making.